Zeros and it's so better leave. I'ma swap at the time and that's take it for me. Move jittery bass in 2 days, I'm on 3, I'm gone. Salamino Patron, Cappuccino Patron, Alameda song, stack it up, stack it up.
Ah, shit. GM pre-rich friends. It is I, your host, Satoshi, back for another exciting edition of The Pit. We got a scorcher for you guys today. But first, with me as always, my faithful co-host and compatriot, Chewbacca. What's up, Chewbacca? You hear me, dude? You just said...
I think.
Hello?
Am I freezing up here?
Yeah, so Chewbacca's frozen.
Yeah, it's my.
Can't say hi. That's cool. But it's all good because the guest makes up for it. We have an absolute legend of the Pit, the annals of Pit history. Please give a warm welcome to Sergeant Ponzi, aka TDrowe. How's it going, Tej?
Good morning, guys. Sergeant Fitness here.
Yeah, let's get
chain.
in shape.
Managed to get 30 minutes off from checking the chain and looking forward to this conversation.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know,
Awesome.
TDrowe, I guess we're all, the Pit sort of coalesced around the 2021 bull run, of which TDrowe was a major participant. TDrowe is legendary in the Pit for shilling absolute dog shit that goes ballistic. Pretty much every time. In fact, recently we were like, hey, where's TDrowe? He shows up, shills a Ponzi. It does 60x? What did it do?
I
think because I sold it about 20x at around 70 or 80 cents, and then it went about to $2, I think.
Jesus Christ.
Frenpet. So it was almost 60x. Definitely, like, it was basically an overnight 50x.
Like 10 days after TDrowe shilling it as his first comeback tour, then the influencers catch on. So that'll tell you about how early this man is on a frequent basis. So we're super glad to have him in here to shill us the alpha.
Well, in fact, I actually found Frenpet at a 1.9k market cap.
Jesus Christ.
I shared it with many people.
1.9k.
I told them it's an asymmetric opportunity, and the maximum bet was $1. You could do it at a time, 82 cents. So
wow.
I did multiple wallets, but it's a bit insane, really, because I did about 30 minutes of due diligence, and it's 82 cents. I'm like, why the hell am I doing all the due diligence when something else comes along? I'll bet like $1,000, and now it's 82-cent opportunity, and people are saying stuff like, I think it's risky.
Yeah, man.
Put it this way, I got friends that got in at 82 cents and they sold for like $6,000.
Did you even check out the game at that point?
Yeah, I was playing it. The game was okay, but I saw that the developer was building, and I was waiting for a long time. And I had a friend come into our group, and he said this week it's going to be a Coinbase shill. So as soon as I found out that, I instantly bought more, and I shared that in the Pit, and then a few of the guys bought in as well. So they did pretty good off that opportunity.
Yeah, dude. How do you do it? So we're going to get into that. We're going to be talking about what TDrowe's looking at. We're going to be talking about his research process insofar as he's willing to share some tasty deets with us. But first, let's get into a little, just kind of set the tone for where we're at in the market, and pull up some chats, shall we? Fantastic. All right. So as you guys can see, we're kind of in some chop solidation right now, but currently what I'm thinking is we run these highs at the very least, but that, that may not happen. We did reclaim Monday's range low. So, conventional knowledge would say we're headed here, but I'm thinking a little bit higher. Chewbacca, what's your current read on things?
I mean, if I was a betting man, and I am, I mean, it really feels like this whole kind of CZ, like Binance, quote unquote implosion, as Adam Cochran will like to claim credit for, is one of the most historic crypto events that we've seen in a while. And this is either going to mark like a significant top or a significant bottom somewhere on the chart. Something, it's too big of an event to not have a significant chart movement one way or the other after it. And so, I'm kind of playing it where I think we could see, ETH run for a little while, and finally get this kind of like last leg maybe of this rally. But we could also go to zero. I don't know, but
thanks, man.
I'm playing it. I'm playing it as if this is going to mark like a significant bottom.
Yeah. I would say that like the chance for a major pre-halving correction is, it's running slim. But I'm not getting too comfy yet. I have started to load spot bags though, because it's just so close that, might as well. And obviously with spot, no risk of liquidation. So I'm willing to suffer whatever drawdown on those spot bags if we do get that big correction, but I got tons of dry powder ready for if we do get it. But mostly loading spot alts. And so, yeah, let's just briefly review here. I grabbed some PYTH here. I grabbed some ATOR, which I think this is kind of the bottom on it. And, they had like a big thing with where Tor banned their servers or some shit, kind of eliminating the use case for it. But as TDrowe said, we know that an abandoned use case is not the end.
Yeah, and one bullish catalyst I've got for ATOR as well, because I actually found ATOR like 0.05 cents.
Of course you did.
Watched it go the whole time. But I do think it could have a helium type run, because beginning of next year they have their hardware miners coming out, so that's a new catalyst overcoming this thing. That's a really bullish catalyst, that is, I think,
for sure.
These hardware miners got to work. They can't mine something worth zero. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're not just gonna let it go to zero.
No.
Yeah, well, on that decentralized physical infrastructure tip, I've also been loading this one in several cars. This was probably my biggest play of last cycle, and how poetic it would be if it was the play that starts off this cycle for me. For those of you who don't know, when you use MetaMask, you are querying blockchain data using an RPC. And most RPCs are hosted on Amazon Web Services, so they're not decentralized, and those frequently go down or get clogged. And when that happens, everyone switches to Pocket. There are several blockchains that just use Pocket natively for decentralized RPC data. And the history of this chart is that it ran to $3 kind of after Bitcoin had topped last cycle. It's at 7 cents right now, so seems pretty asymmetric to me. Started loading it down here. So that's my plays. What about you, Chewbacca? What are you looking at? What are you interested in? All right, cool. Tight. Damn, your internet is rugging. All right, well then let's get into some TDrowe action. TDrowe, you want to start us off with your current plays? Yeah, your bags. Okay. Show them. Let
me think of my bag. So currently I'm about 50% Ethereum and stable coins.
Okay.
I kind of changed my strategy, because in 2023 beginning I just kept getting rugged on so many shit coins.
Right.
It just wasn't profitable, and so now I kind of like wait for opportunities to rise, but they need to kind of be asymmetric.
Yeah.
So I'm 50% Ethereum and stables, and then I got a lot of sats, TRAC, I got frenpet, I got PAAL.
TRAC. Yeah, you're big on this, right?
Yeah, so we've been holding since 30 cents. We did think about getting in at 17 cents on that dip, but that dip took forever.
Right.
We didn't add, but we wish we would have, but we're trying to be more risk averse now because
We
me and Jubaka invest together on the
Okay.
BRC-20 side.
very cool.
Yeah, we started that a while back, and I've kind of been finding the plays, and we've just been allocating capital as time progressed.
Very
So
nice.
if you wanted to have a look at sats, let me send you the link.
Okay.
Give me a sec. How do I do this?
Okay. So here's sats.
Yeah, so this is a BRC-20 token. I was in from pretty much that long consolidation period under like pretty much a while back.
Yeah.
I think I got in below 1.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm up like 20x or whatever, something like that. This project was minting for over 6 months, and it had such a high supply. It minted at a $21 million market cap, and it was the highest holder base on BRC-20.
Okay.
Had 37,000 holders. And what Unisat did, if you look at the link I just sent you, they created their own BRC-20 swap,
Right.
which is equivalent of a DEX liquidity system, which we can't access as in beta.
Right.
And they said they was going to use sats for the gas fee.
Ooh, that's wild.
So as soon as I found out that, I looked into it. I thought this is going to be a liquidity sink. Every single token is going to be paired with sats. If you pull up the last image I sent you, it's like the TVL of the liquidity pools right now. Let me send that to you quick. Give me a moment. If you can pull this up, if I send it to you. Yeah, so currently Audi is the number one TVL. It has $370,000 of TVL. And then second's HONK. But all of them tokens are paired with sats. So I imagine some kind of price appreciation. At the time, it was only 20 million market cap. And within 2 or 3 weeks, it went to 400 million market cap. So this is the unofficial token of Unisat.
Right.
They didn't launch a token because sats had such a large user base and holder base. They wanted a decentralized token instead of launching their own one, and they determined sats to be that. So I'm really bullish on sats. I've got quite a big position in that right now. And sats is pretty much a bet on Unisat.
Right.
And the meme is 1 sat equals 1 sat.
Yeah.
1500x or something dumb.
Wow, dude, that's insane. Yeah, you had showed me on this one, OSHI, and I was able to sweep what has been a floor since I grabbed it, but it's probably going to consolidate for a little while. Yeah,
and then my second holding is HONK.
Okay.
So if you scroll up to the second largest pool, I bought that. If you go back, so it's the second highest pool. As soon as I saw that, I thought, wow, who's supporting this? There's someone kind of with the hidden hand. And I kind of get the feeling it's the same guy who launched Only Possible on Solana. I don't know why I get that feeling, but he's the kind of guy that's got billions of dollars. It just seems to be
having a laugh.
He'll just throw away money. Like he put $5 million into the OPOS liquidity pool.
Wow.
And the guy's got a ton of money. So if you find out what he's doing, his name's HGE on Twitter. He was shilling Satoshis as well. So I thought, that guy this guy there, HEABC. So he shared an address recently. If you send him money, I know it's a corny way of raising funds, but people up at 7x.
Yep.
And the guy just throws away money, to be honest. Like,
yeah, it kind of reminds me of Is it this dude?
Oh, Paulie?
Is that nothingness?
Yeah, what, you get nothing?
No. He's a dude who like he went in heavy on Solana. He was a #1 Binance leaderboard guy, and he seems to be absolutely insane. And he like late last cycle, like you could just leave your Solana address in the comments of any of his tweets, and he would just send you fuckloads of GMT.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Damn. I can't believe I can't find him. But yeah, and then he just tweets like solipsistic, like philosophical, like nonsense all day. He seems verifiably insane, but kind of reminds me of that. Just a guy with crazy money who's just lost all meaning for it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's in the billions. I've heard. So
Yeah.
he's someone to always look
What
out
was he
for.
collecting money for?
The FOMO token.
FOMO. Got it.
Yeah.
TDrowe, what do you think of all the Binance memes that sprang up yesterday after the announcement? There's like Binance, Tang.
Personally, like me personally, I don't really buy meme coins anymore.
Okay.
Because I just get wrecked every single time.
Yeah.
Someone on my timeline shielded this last night, like right here.
Yeah. Like if I found out prior to it being launched, I would do it. If someone told me, like if someone come to me and said, "Oh, this person's launching a token, here's a contract address," and I'll do it. But if it's already launched like this, I prefer not to do it because time tested, I'll end up losing money over time to memes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much as I would love to.
TDrowe, kind of on that topic, what made you switch from like memes to specifically BRC-20s / developing like a new thesis for what you were going to focus on? Like, I guess talk a little bit about that because it's a pretty drastic shift.
To me, it was just mainly just sticking to my strengths. Things that I made money on in the past were always like very early. Like I made money on Ohm, Klima, I was really early to ban bears. I shared that early. Most of my opportunities share a common thing. I normally want to have like at least 4 or 5 points of confluence. I want to have like a larger macro theme, like for BRC-20, it's like the Bitcoin halving, and it's also like the revenue on chain. Like the miners need to get away from the inflation rewards, and they need to start developing revenue on chain. And Bitcoin's never had a bull market on chain before.
Right.
Ethereum has. They've had these high gas fees. Like Bitcoin's never had that. And there's a lot of people with large wallets, a lot of big whales, billionaires, who only want to do Bitcoin opportunities.
Yeah, you'd also mentioned that like the mindset of the maxis is obviously different from those slinging meme coins on EVM.
Yeah, I just think that Ethereum is very PvP, and it's because they've gone through so much over the years, like over the bear market. They sell every rip. BTC heads, they're more likely to just hold something to stupid valuations.
Right.
Like during March, Audi went to $1 billion market cap from literal zero. And that was before anyone heard about it.
Yeah.
And also, the transparency isn't very good here as well. Like, you have to calculate the market cap yourself.
Right.
So, like, what's the market cap? And a lot of people are too lazy to do that. So, I like I said, I try to have like a larger thesis now before I buy anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like the BRC-20 thesis for 2 reasons. The first one, obviously, the Bitcoin crowd, like you said, is just a much longer term vision. They're just much better like diamond hand holders. But my favorite part of your thesis is that miners do need a way to figure out how to eat for the next 5+ years, and the best way to do that is to let degens win, give degens a taste of victory for a little while. And once you do, then, they'll become, the most diehard supporters ever. And so I think it's like a really smart strategy for miners and people who have, just tons of money invested in Bitcoin in general, to create like a really strong community. And yeah, that's probably my favorite part.
Yeah. And also it's just a new sector. Like I look at it from a probability standpoint, like probability, more likely to succeed rather than these meme coins. Like I said, rising tide raises all boats. And just looking at the, people not looking at BRC-20 as much as they should, but the NFTs are currently doing more volume than all other chains combined. That's a pretty big metric that people don't know about. So it's still early, but a lot of people are paying attention to this. NFTs on ETH are pretty much dead now as well.
Yeah, but that probably won't remain the case forever.
No, my thesis is that all chains are going to have a ETH script like Ordinal's protocol. So I imagine that on Ethereum and Solana, they're going to adopt the Ordinal protocol, because at the current method, things are not inscribed on chain. They're just URLs attached to like a website, and it can be changed. Like that got seen on Goblin Town NFTs where they changed the NFT. But on Ordinals, that's actually inscribed on individual Satoshis. And you already have Elon Musk talking about that. He said recently that NFTs aren't even on the blockchain.
Right.
Michael Saylor's bullish on Ordinals, so
Sailor's bullish.
Of course he is.
At first he wasn't bullish on Ordinals. He said it's bad for the chain. But when he saw the revenue that's bringing to miners, he became bullish. So, there's Ordinal, there's Elon Musk confluence, there's Michael Saylor confluence, and that's enough to me to hold it to infinity.
We had a question in the chat, TDrowe. How exactly do these BRC-20 tokens work? There are a ton of these sats. Are they all different?
So BRC-20 tokens, obviously I'm going to try my best to explain it. It is pretty complicated, but they are pretty much NFTs inscribed on chain, and without an indexer, they're pretty much meaningless. So that's what Unisat is, and that's what TRAC does. They read the metadata, and then they can then give it into a more polished version, which you're seeing on the screen. They are a bit different to Ethereum tokens, but what we see is not much difference. I'm trying to understand the second question. He said there's a ton of these sats.
He's saying that like there's multiple different sats, but like I think I can clear that up where it's like, this is an indexer. Unisat is an indexer. It is a source of truth, but not the source of truth. There is no the source of truth. Every indexer is going to have a slightly different interpretation of what truth is, quote unquote. But this is a pretty reliable one because so many people use it. And so you can generally assume that if there is a sats listed on this marketplace, it is valid. It is something that other people will transact around. But this is more like OTC. So
let me jump in quickly, Circa. So with BRC-20, the first is first. You cannot mint another sats. There's only one sats. There is generally a consensus across all indexes. I haven't seen any other sats. It's not like Ethereum where there can be 100 sats. And that's another one of my bullish thesis, is that like tokens can become like Ethereum names, ENSs. Like I bought Yuga a long time ago for like dirt cheap. It hasn't moved, but no one can buy that. No one can mint that token ever again. That Yuga that's the token. So if they want a token called that, they have to buy up the supply.
Right.
So there's only one sats. Another thing about this agreement is that currently Unisat have a BRC-20 swap. It's currently in beta, but they just created their SDK kit, and the idea is that other developers are going to build upon their SDK, and then it's going to become a DeFi Lego brick, and then a common source of truth, and that's called white module status. My answer to that question is I think the fees are going to get really high, but that's why Unisat created their Dex. So the Dex is actually faster than Solana. Like it's just instant. Methods.
Yeah, it's also like like the difference between Bitcoin's L2s and L3s and Ethereum's L2s and L3s is that Ethereum's L2s inherit the exact same problems that the L1 had. And given enough transaction volume, they will experience those problems. On Bitcoin L2s, that's not as much the case. So the scalability, I would say, from L1 to L2 on Bitcoin is far greater than from L1 to L2 on Ethereum. And I would be shocked if we don't see like double-digit transaction fees on Arbitrum at some point during this bull. So yeah, like I wouldn't say DeFi on BTC isn't scalable. It's just about infrastructure.
Yeah, and as far as I know, when you deposit into the BRC-20 swap, I believe they have a centralized wallet, so it's like an exchange.
Yeah,
and that's why it's a lot speedier. And then the transaction fee is taxed. So I can't see it ever reaching to the same level that Ethereum reached, but that's dependent if Unisat catches on.
Yeah,
which I do think they will. They just raised $50 million. Sorry, $50 million valuation, and Binance were involved, and that was in March before it all caught on. So
I thought Binance is over.
Isn't
that what?
Yeah, CZ works for Unisat now.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like Sam Altman. He just grabbed the new CEO position right after. Well, word. So is BRC-20s like a big majority of your thesis right now? How do I go to the TRAC site?
I'll send you the TRAC site. Let me see.
Oh, he's back at OpenAI. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, what a shit show.
It's pretty wild.
Get a long world coin on that news.
Yeah, I mean, it's doing fantastic today.
Yep.
It's probably going to break out.
Yeah.
But PYTH, baby. Oof. Such an obvious play.
For sure. I missed Celestia, so.
Yeah, obvious.
Yeah.
Oh, track.network. Let's go. Oh, it's dangerous. I'm in danger. Okay.
So,
you're early.
This looks professional.
So essentially, this is, yeah, you should see it 3 months ago. It's not as good as this.
They've made a lot of improvements.
Yeah, it still has more improvement. You know, it still has more improvement, but you know, I equivalent this to an L2. You know, it's the only comparison I can make. You know, we inscribe Satoshis with information, and then this reads it. You know,
so it's an indexer.
It's an indexer, but Unisat is, i.e., centralized, and TRAC came along to decentralize it.
Okay.
And then TRAC is a governance token for TRAC. But they also have created their own protocol as well called TAP, which is very new. Very new. My thesis is that this hits at least $1 billion market cap. I think it should be priced as an L2. And I also believe there will be multi-chain as well. Like when ETH subscriptions goes crazy, Solana subscriptions, and that's peak froth to me though. That's the long-term thesis.
Yeah. So explain a little bit more how you're pricing this as an L2 now.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't have to be an L2, but people, as long as people think it is, that's the same thing. You know, how markets work, you know. Yeah. But this is like a scanner that resides on Bitcoin. So
yeah, it's like longing Dex screener.
Yeah. Well, put it this way: without this, you cannot do anything on BRC-20.
Yeah, you can't do it. This is like the main research tool, right?
Yeah, there's not just a research.
Yeah, I understand how it's the link of BRC-20. Yeah,
like if you wanted to use a swap, it would use this information.
Okay, yeah,
this is like this. You can equivalent it to the graph or chain link.
It's kind of like the pocket of Bitcoin network.
The closest comparison is the graph or chain link.
Right. Yeah. That's interesting.
So they're my main two holdings. I'm also looking at something called Bitmaps, BITMAP.
How did you find TRAC originally?
So I had a friend come in the chat, and he was really early with BRC-20. He told me about it in March, and he made crazy amount of money in the first run. I thought I was late, but I still carried on buying, kept up with the narrative, and then 6 months later, it seemed that everyone started catching on. You had Leo mentioning it, Ansem.
Yep.
So if you go on Twitter, Circa, type in Bitmaps. Actually, tell you what, I've got a better way. Type in wrapped bitmap. Yeah, so that one there, wrapped bitmap. Click that. So yeah, you click there.
Click on it.
Click on it, yeah. So if you scroll down, so Bitmap is a Bitcoin equivalent to Sandbox, and they already have more holders than the highest metaverse NFT project. So that's pretty bullish. I believe they're sitting at around a $65 million market cap, and they minted at a $1 million market cap.
Right.
You've got all of the highest IQ people developing this metaverse project, and everyone's putting their heads together to figure out solutions. Recursiverse proposed recently that they're going to create a token called Wrap Map, which you deposit your bitmaps in, and you get 1,000 Wrap Map tokens. And I think that's a catalyst for, increase on price. So
what about BRC-420s, dude?
So I haven't done too much research about that. Like every day, people are coming out with new standards, and you've got to copy this shady little string of JSON text to the Unisat inscription tool, and you don't really know what you're getting out of it. But I just think the bitmap play for about a $70 million market cap to like 700 million would be ideal. If you go to Magic Eden, it's where you find it.
Magic Eden?
Yeah, so Magic Eden is a place where you look for ordinal NFTs.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what. So click the NFT marketplace, and then Bitcoin. Bitmaps. If you click the Bitcoin thing, you'll see all the projects.
Okay.
And scroll down. So if you look to the left, you'll see 3 projects I'm really bullish on: Bitmap, Bitcoin Frogs, and Ordinal Maxi Business. They're the
why was Leo so bullish on Bitcoin Frogs?
To be honest, like I'm not entirely. It was just a volume. I think he just saw the amount of volume on chain, and it looked like a good community forming. And now it becomes liquidity sink, where people want to chase the leader. Right. So what these bitmaps are is their inscriptions on a particular block. So there's 850,000 blocks on Bitcoin forever, and so it has a limited supply. So every time a new block gets minted, that's the emissions, and these are blocks at a time. So every one of them transactions represents a block, and that's parcels of land.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, so they're parcels of land. So they're blocks, and they're building the metaverse on it. And it sounds dumb, and it probably is, but it's getting a lot of attention.
Yeah,
but at the minute,
the dumber it is, the more bullish it is. Am I right?
But at the minute, it's a pain in the ass to buy. There's $70 per bitmap, and you've got to buy hundreds of them. So once this token comes out, it's going to soak up a lot of liquidity, and people will be able to ape that. I do think it's going to go to like 10x, 20x personally.
Someone asked, who are the players in this for now? Individual developers on their own time, or are VCs investing? Are miners pushing it? There's got to be no players, right?
Yeah. Well, I doubt there's players, it's still early, but how many players does Sandbox have? It's all about speculation, right?
It's just me and Chewbacca in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of space ready for people to get busy. And then if you go back, another NFT project I'm bullish on is Ordinal Maxi Biz.
Ordinal Maxi?
So Yeah, so
nice.
So one thing about inscribing on Satoshis is each Satoshi has attributes. So if you click on one of the NFTs, these NFTs were inscribed on Satoshis that Satoshi had himself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so if you hover over it or hover over the little indicators with the underneath to the right, so
Wow.
sats from the first 10 Bitcoin, sats mined by Satoshi Nakamoto. These are
Wow.
actually inscribed on his coins. So I do think these will have some kind of, they're already a blue chip. And
Dude, this is the cheapest way to get proximity to Craig Wright.
Yeah. So once volume comes into this and everyone thinks that the art blocks of Bitcoin, the idea is that they go a lot higher.
Right.
They do look, they do look like they personify the Bitcoin ethos as well.
And these like the using a URL and either centralized or decentralized storage to host this picture, that's the same as ETH NFTs. The difference here is that it's not changeable, right?
Well, these are actually inscribed on Bitcoin, so it's immutable forever.
Right. Like you can't change that URL it points to, but it does point to a URL.
No, it doesn't point to a URL.
How?
Well, the data is actually inscribed on chain. So it's called the, let me remember this. I think I sent a link so you can go through this. Give me a sec. All right. I'll send you the link. So if you go down, it says it can be in any format under 4 MB.
Oh, wow.
So in 2000, I think it was 2014, they pushed this new, protocol which allowed you to inscribe data into the Satoshi. So that goes there, the OP return function. So allow miners to inscribe
basically like some metadata.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and nodes don't need it. Okay.
So in 2021, in a Taproot upgrade, a guy found a loophole, and initially everyone was hating it. It was clogging the network and transaction fees were high. But then it got flipped to a bullish narrative where transaction fees going up is a good thing.
Right.
So my thesis is that miners have an incentive to now pump these things to the craziest levels you could think.
Yeah. Wow.
Especially because the halving is happening soon, and that's literally a half of their revenue.
Wow. Yeah. The fact that these are actually hard-coded data is nuts.
So this protocol can be done on Ethereum as well. It's already happening. ETH inscriptions, we've got Sol inscriptions, we've got Doge inscriptions. So it is really early when you think
I'm bullish Doge inscriptions too.
Yeah, as a multi-chain thesis. But to think that Bitcoin chain doesn't have the highest TVA out of all of them, that's kind of undervalued there.
Yeah. It's kind of like, you see a new L1 and you compare it to other L1s for like the ceiling of where it can go. But with this, like you have the market leader as sort of, some fraction of that is your ceiling now. So we're going from 0 to like the highest ceiling that a protocol like this could have.
Exactly.
That's dope, dude.
Let me see if I got anything else.
Yeah, I wonder if if inscribing is going to flip like the kind of bullshit NFT market,
Yeah.
Well, it's already doing more volume than that already, than every single chain combined.
Yeah.
And it hasn't even reached froth yet. It's still, it's only just getting reach of the early influencers.
Yep.
Yeah,
imagine having a non-inscribed NFT on a chain that has inscribed NFTs.
Yeah.
But also inscriptions themselves, since they're inscribing the actual data, solve huge problems in intellectual property, like with one fell swoop. The switch over from pointing to a URL to actually inscribing the data is huge.
Yeah, and even Elon Musk on Joe Rogan recently, he said that ETH NFTs aren't even on the chain.
Yeah.
It sounds, I think he knows, he put it this way, he banned Bob. He banned Bob Bot from Twitter once, and he created his own bot.
Yeah.
And he knew about Bob as well, because he said, we like Bob. The next week it was banned.
Yeah, he responded to that. Yeah, I remember that.
He created his own grok, his own version, bot with humor. So Elon's listening, and that's what I mean. I try to have like 5 points of confluence. I need like build like a story and have a few like upcoming catalysts that I know, like Elon tweets and Michael Saylor being bullish. And once I have all the information, I'm ready to put some money up.
Yeah. So, dude, this is a perfect opportunity for me to get confidence about OSHI. Why did I buy a bunch of OSHI, dude?
So let me send you the link to the website. So OSHI was an example of what we know from ETH, where a project will go crazy and then we'll just dump for like 3 or 4 months, and then we'll just be looking away, and then we'll forget about it. And the next thing you know, it's just like sending out of nowhere.
Yeah.
This relies on the thesis not changing though. And the thesis hasn't changed with this project. The only thing that happened was the developer for OSHI, he left the team, but the team is still building, and they've pivoted to a project called MotoSwap and this new DAO organization. So this is at the beginning of BRC-20, you had Unisat, TRAC, and OSHI. And OSHI was leading. So like 6 months ago, OSHI revealed they was gonna bring out an indexer, and then they had the feud between the team members, and now they've parted ways. It was the opportunity was asymmetric because there's not many utility plays on Bitcoin.
Right.
And people don't know the story behind this. So I thought in regards to like risk, this was definitely an opportunity, because if it does do what it says they're going to do, it could go at least 10K per token, my theory.
Yeah, that's fire. You had made the point that like Bitcoin maxis are not seasoned in the way that shitcoiners are, where like just because a project has a catastrophic personnel change doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying as well. Like this project should have been repriced already, but they're not used to going through FUD.
Right.
It's just pretty much like introducing a whole bunch of normies to the market, and they just it's like being PvP, but you're the one that knows everything and they don't know anything. Yeah.
That's fire. Is there anything non-BRC or ordinals that you're interested in?
Well, I'm still a frenpet maxi. I have unloaded quite a lot of it, to be honest, but I left a small moon bag.
Not 2.0. Yeah, I guess what made you bullish on frenpet? Wasn't that surrounded with the privy narrative, actually?
This one?
Yeah, that's that one. Yeah,
that's the one.
So what it was is one thing I've noticed.
frenpet use privy?
Yeah, so one thing I've noticed with like trading, like when you find a play, there's always something around the corner, a bit like kind of strangely attached to it. It's going to come out and you'll be like, for fuck's sake, I bought the wrong thing. So when Frentech came out, I started to research about Privy, which is the embedded wallet or password authenticator that Frentech uses. So I started researching all of the Privy projects, and this was one of them. And when I saw it shield at 1.9K market cap, like I said, I took the investment. Over a period of 2 months, it didn't do anything.
Yeah, I saw this is long.
Yeah.
And when did they unlock the ability to invest more?
It happened the next day because it pumped so fast, and then the next day they removed the wallet cap. But my thesis wasn't just a frenpet thesis; it was a Coinbase thesis.
Right.
I was speaking to Chewbacca, and I said that Base is a dark horse. Coinbase is the leading, pretty much the biggest exchange, excluding Binance, and no one's paying attention to the chain. And I expected some kind of rotation of capital at some point, because Bitcoin had gone crazy the last month and nobody was paying attention to Base.
Right.
So, and I saw also the frenpet developer who was clean, he was doing a good job of developing, and I just saw had a feeling. And as soon as my friend told me about the Coinbase shield, that was just like my point of confluence was, okay, let's get in. And I shielded it to the pit.
Yeah, and then Coinbase posted about it like the next day, right?
Yeah.
I've got a friend who he only pops in once every 2-3 weeks, but when he does post something, I make sure I don't fade him. You know, the amount of times he's came in, like even Harry Potter Bar Masonic, he came in at 100K market cap, and I just ignored him. And
we faded, yeah.
You know,
remember, dude? Remember the days?
Yeah.
This is our loop. TDrowe shilled it because the team had been photographed with Elon Musk, and Elon Musk gave them a nod. That was all we needed. This was like late cycle, so yeah, it was May of 2022.
Yeah, I had a friend. He put 50 grand in that instantly. I thought, dude, you need to chill out.
Apparently, you needed to chill out, dude. He knew the deal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Still has a $2.2 million market cap.
Does it?
Is this coming back, dude? Should we? I'll
tell you what. The second I stopped it, when they talked about like laser beams killing COVID particles.
Oh yeah, that's a big... Wow, we could probably put that that tweet's probably right here.
Yeah.
All right. So
but yeah, TDrowe, you're also very bullish on the AI sector, right?
Yeah. So unfortunately, I'm still really bullish on Potenza, even though I missed the run up.
I know.
I found Potenza at $30, and was watching that for a long time, but it just went sideways for so long, and I was just really skeptical about the emission schedule, which is 7,200 tokens per day.
It's a lot of tokens, dude.
Yeah, it's like 20 or 30% APY.
Yeah, but they do have an interesting token sync where, you know, it can become deflationary really quick. So that made me change my thesis when I found out that, depending on usage of the network, it actually can become deflationary. I do think it will become deflationary in a year easily. So I think that will, and also the narrative is just crazy. You know, Bitcoin is the largest supercomputer in the world, but it doesn't utilize its computational power for good. It kind of wastes it. And this is a narrative. It's called proof of usable work. You know, this actually utilizes the work. It's been generated. And currently, OpenAI's ChatGPT, that's censored. You know, it's woke. You know, you can't do certain things. But Potenza will be pretty much uncensored, raw artificial intelligence for humanity. And that's a narrative the Taoists are pushing. So this is pretty much an L1 blockchain.
Wow. So is this your only AI oriented play?
I like PAAL as well. PAAL. I'm holding PAAL.
Yeah. I know that.
I'm holding that as well. You know, just because it's just done so well. You know, it's one of them things where it's continued to do well, and it seems to be a leader. And they're part of the NVIDIA partnership program. You know, they attend the meetings, and they got partnerships with Google Drive. But, you know, all these projects are just one FUD event like ATOR away from going to zero.
What do you know about AGIX, dude?
So, me personally, this is the thing, like when AI season pumps, we tend to try to be too smart for ourselves, which I try not to do anymore. I try to just bid the sector leaders. So when the AI stuff pumps, it's best to have positions in AGIX, the FETs, because the amount of times I've tried bidding a Telegram scam coin that's going to go 1,000,000x instead of just bidding a sector leader. So now I've just learned to just go with the sector leader.
What do you know anything behind AGIX?
I haven't really tracked it that much, to be honest. I know they have something similar as TAL, but it doesn't have the cult community behind it.
Yeah.
That's one thing for me.
I'm a bit of a AI, physics, and computation nerd, colloquially. And AGIX, the guy behind it, do you know anything about him Ben
I
Goertzel?
don't know.
So this guy's great friends with Elon Musk. He is like a granddaddy of modern AGI. He's an absolute nutcase, and he's been on Joe Rogan, I believe. So I think that a lot of people haven't really calculated that this nutcase is behind AGIX, and his public presence is the greatest out of anyone doing an AI protocol right now. So like he's
looks
very
like
well
he could be
known.
like a Danny figure.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet their tokenomics are crap. I bet their whole, because he knows nothing about like how to pump something. But I think there's a significant repricing around his public figure, because it's right now at 357 mil market cap, and its FTV is only like 30 mil higher.
Yeah, I do think you're right. Like I compare AI to the what's it, metaverse trade. That's what I compare it to. Exactly to the metaverse trade, where you have this, overarching theme of real world AI being developed. Open AI, Elon Musk's AI, and I compare that to the metaverse alpha, which was Facebook changing their name to Meta. So if you compare, like that was all it was. That was it. And now we have so much more alpha sources in the world right now. So I think you're right. Like I believe a lot of these projects are going to be repriced very heavily, and Mana reached 6 billion market cap. So I think a lot of them are gonna. The only thing with AGIX to me is it tries to do too many things.
Yeah, big
like
time.
With Tau, like Tau does what it says in a tin, and I believe the third largest Bitcoin miner is now mining Tau.
This is the AGIX ecosystem.
Yeah. I don't really know what it does.
I think this is one of those where you don't really need to. I think that largely, like, out of all of these protocols, this one has the realest chance of becoming something like it's actually used in AI, but I think that chance is still very low. I just think that when it heats up, you're going to have tons of like fudders who are like, oh, this AI project doesn't make sense. It'll never get use case. But with this one, they can't make that argument because like there's an actual AI scientist behind it.
Well, if you look at, have you looked at Potenza, what it does, Tau?
I haven't really looked into it now.
Okay, so if you go on Tau, like essentially it's a decentralized neural network, and every miner is providing computational power to the large language models. So this is the first time when you'll be able to get access to like an LLM, and people are already developing apps. Like they've created their own ChatGPT equivalent. They're developing what essentially OpenAI have been doing. They're developing that, and it's pretty much like our one blockchain, but also has side chains as well. So every app is like a side chain. I believe they have 17 side chains now.
Wow.
It's already priced really high. If you look at CoinMarketCap, I believe it's the number one AI project by a lot.
I mean, it's number 46 of all.
Yeah.
So it's top 50.
Yeah. So, but I believe the FTV is like 5 billion already.
Yeah. So it was 92.
Yeah. So if there was an AI trade of this cycle, I believe this is definitely it.
653,953 times 21 million.
Yeah, I believe FTV is 5 billion.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I just think things are going to get crazy with this token. I personally believe there's just so many cult personalities getting involved with it. But at current prices, I think I'm not investing in this price.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah,
man,
it sucks when we were watching it at $30 and
my thing is that it just took a long time.
Yeah.
What do you think about Akash?
Like I said, like I haven't really researched it. I tend to try and have like a few things that I really believe in, and then I keep track, because I look at it this way: like, why do I need 3 different 10x's when I can get one?
Right. Yeah. You don't.
I like AKT. I'm not sure if it's going to outperform, and I don't really know about the tokenomics, but also another project that's closer to a real use case.
Yeah. I mean, it's like proximity to a real use case is it's like a second order thing, right? Because it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not bidding this because I think it actually fulfills that use case. I'm bidding it because I think
Yeah.
other people will think that. Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Correct.
Yep. What do you think about? Oh, go
Render's
ahead.
pretty cool. I think render's pretty cool, to be honest.
I think render sucks fundamentally, but I do agree that it's highly pumpable. I just don't think people need decentralized GPUs.
Yeah, and then so that's pretty much for AI, but real world assets are like Rio. I'm not sure if you heard of Rio.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I have heard of this.
You know,
Yeah,
really like
Rio's been grinding up. I love the Rio chart.
And the top volume is OKX, so you know that the Koreans are bidding this, dude.
Yeah, I remember the flag dipped to 12
What's that
cents.
now? 60?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, I can just tell already, this is going to be something that does more than all-time high.
Dude, watch it cool off.
Yeah.
Right. Whoa. What the fuck? Watch it cool off right here. We'll extend this right. Watch it cool off at about 85 cents, right around here. I've been noticing this thing, TDrowe. It started with Solana, but I think it's going to happen on a lot more. Where right now we're just rocketing up to touch monthly inefficiencies. So this monthly imbalance right here, this naked candle, we went right up, we touched it, retraced, swept it, and then now it's going back down. And I think that AVAX is about to do the same thing. $40, FTN 95 cents. So that's what I've been looking at for like just leverage plays right now is like, when are these things going to run up to touch their monthly inefficiencies?
Yeah, I'm actually really bullish on Solana as well, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it could have like ETH's second cycle type vibes, right? Like it's actually going to reprice higher than its last top.
I think enough people now agree with that.
Yeah.
The fact that it led this first like altcoin rally, was so insane. Yeah,
because personally, I don't really see the point of all these L2s. Like, to me, it's just extra work and they're just band-aids. Like, you know, all this approach, like all these L2s, and I think
our transaction was $4 the other day.
Wow. So yeah, it's definitely getting double digits.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Have you guys heard about the Solana Fire Dancer?
The what?
Solana Fire Dancer.
No.
Yeah, so that's an upgrade. We're really bullish catalyst for Solana. It's called Fire Dancer. It's going to allow it to have, I believe, like 1 million transactions per second. That's like crazy. And also, over the last 6 months to 1 year, Solana has actually become a lot more decentralized. They have a lot more nodes. Because one concern at the beginning was that Solana was centralized. It could just be shut down. But with the new upgrades, they've actually become a lot more decentralized.
Wow. Yeah.
Another one I've been looking at is Casper.
Of course.
that was one of my biggest fades. I found that at like...
Yeah, when did you fade that?
I think it was 20x ago. I was going to go all in. No joke.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
But the train's gone on that one, in my opinion.
Yeah. So one thing I wanted to ask you about was like, and I can assume the answer based on the talk so far, but what do you think about L2 governance tokens?
For me personally, I don't like the FDVs.
Yeah.
I just don't. I think there's just better opportunities, but I do think they're safe. I think Arbor OP are good, like safe opportunities.
Yeah.
That's just
OP doesn't look terrible.
I would be surprised if L1s didn't outperform L2 governance. Because like they just don't have any fundamental case for them. Not that that matters.
I agree.
But it's just like they're so fucking
There's more things holding them back.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I don't know about I don't. Do you have any like optimistic thesis about Aptos or Sui?
Me personally, I don't know. I used Aptos. We did get in early to Aptos chain. We did some farming on chain, but that didn't work out very well. It seems really cool.
It just seems like they're just like kind of copy paste L1s where like I don't know what's special about them or is going to cause people to think that they have a good chance of beating anything else.
Yeah, I just feel like a lot of the winners have already been announced, in my opinion.
Yeah,
a lot of the stuff that's been going crazy the last 6 months. You know, your ATOR, even though it's gone down, your Rios, your PAALs, your Caspers, you know, the TRACs. I try not to overcomplicate things, and then you got a few things that may pop up, like your STGs, which kind of come out of nowhere, your blur opportunities, and that's kind of things I'm waiting for. Your bitmap token coming out.
Do you think STX is kind of going to get left in the dust by all the other building going on with Bitcoin right now?
I think it will, but it won't, because I think that, you know, so like I'll say
you're fading yourself.
Yeah, it'll probably do. It's going to do well, isn't it? Like it did last time.
Yeah.
As soon as the Bitcoin narrative comes, it'll be great beta to Bitcoin, and it'll probably get bidded.
Yeah.
But I don't like the tech personally.
Word.
Hey guys, I actually have to take
you
off.
got a dipset, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get out of here, dude. We'll see you next week.
You guys keep it going. I'll tune in the chat. So
word up.
Take it easy.
Peace out, sir. Well, TDrowe, now that you are now that we have the same citizenship, I'm excited for this bull, dude. What's your plan overall for the bull? Like, are you gonna try to stay locked to these sort of high conviction plays, or you feel like you're gonna do a lot of playing around?
So let me explain my process just a small. So I've got a lot of friends in the game, and they're just pretty much alpha sources. And I track a lot of people's Twitters as well. I don't know I do it. I got like a Telegram subscription, and whenever somebody follows somebody new, I get notifications. So like that's how I found Wojak, you know, before it launched. It went like 1,000,000x. And I'm just looking for them high probability opportunities when I check the chain.
Yeah.
You know,
that's checking the chain, like, dude.
I'm playing it safe, you know, I'm waiting for them opportunities arise, like, because I hate it when an opportunity arises and I'm off sides.
Yeah.
You know, only tips, you know, let's say when Blur launched, that shit went 4x, you know, STG, you know, something interesting comes out, you know, that's 4, 5, 6 times a year. Like, that's what I'm allocating to. I don't want to overcomplicate things by chasing narratives.
Right. Word up. Yeah, I think I'm hoping for a much more orderly cycle for myself, trying to get sleep, trying to stay, like, not rotate nearly as violently, and just sort of make it as simple as possible.
Yeah, so I can tell you a few projects my friends are bullish on if you want to.
Yeah.
Let me try and get them up. Let's find a few. These are projects that I'm not in myself. One's called Space Mesh.
Is that Dex screener I should look?
I just maybe go on Google to see.
Proof of space time.
Yeah, no clue what it does. My friends are bullish on it, and you know, he's been bullish on quite a lot of stuff. It looks early.
Wow. Does it have a token?
Yeah, it's out already. It's pretty shady to buy it. I believe it's on like Safe Trade or something. Like, it's not that one. The ticker's SMH, so if you go on CoinGecko, I'll send you.
Oh, SMH.
Yeah, it's on CoinGecko.
Yeah. Soup's early, dude.
Yeah, and then another one my friend's looking at is called ZEPH.
ZEPH. Let me.
Maybe go on there. Yeah.
Oh,
That one,
Zephyr, dude. I know Zephyr.
Oh, you know this one, yeah. Shit, that's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
poster.
Wow.
It's like a lot. Yeah, I think Krish, you know Krish from the pit,
Yeah.
he found that 100x ago.
Nice, dude.
He
Did he
did
get
buy.
100x?
I don't think so. You know how it is sometimes.
I know how it is, dude. Wow, Zeph took off. Huh? What is it?
Do you know what? What was it again? I think it's similar to ATOR.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to remember. Like I said, I'm trying to stick away from venturing too far at this particular time.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to wait for the bitmap opportunity and then go heavy on that.
Amazing.
I'm trying to be more nimble and train my twitch reflexes.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, when something comes up, buying it instead of being like just buying everything.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
You know when you get that feeling when something's a good opportunity.
Yep, absolutely.
That's what I'm waiting for.
I knew once I saw the nod from Elon. That's that feeling.
Yeah. Like I said, I got rugged so many times during Pepe season.
Oh, you mean over the last year?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to think about some bullish on. Oh, 2 secs, Circa.
Yep, no problem. Well, yeah. Pretty exciting stuff. I guess we're all just gonna have to wait for Unisat swap to open up.
Yeah, so currently you need to have 500 Unisat points, which is 500 inscriptions. But week by week, they'll be reducing that until it's reduced completely. So that's the next catalyst. And as you've seen, there has been a significant TVL increase over time.
Yeah.
Good. But when it opens up to the masses, you know, that's going to be better. But what we're waiting for something called white module status. And that's when all of the indexes agree. Until then, you know, it's a bit more complicated. I'm not going to explain all the details, but we're waiting for white module status. And to help that along, Unisat have released their SDK, and other builders are building upon that. They can build games upon it. You know, they can do all this stuff. And it seems like they're going to have a steady growth over the next 18 months.
Yeah, it's super exciting. Well, all right, dude. Is there anything else you want to go over?
That's pretty much it, unless anyone has any questions.
Let me check the YouTube real quick. Coach, if you want to let us know of any questions, if you see them. Let's check it out. Thoughts on TRAC versus Caspa? What the fuck is TRAC?
Oh, so yeah, no. So let's do TURT. Okay, so I'm bullish on TURT. I am holding it because it's the. So I actually had TURT pre-sale, but I faded. I was holding the TURT set. So I'm not saying I'm bullish on the project, but it's good exposure to the launch pad. So I bought some tokens so that when something launches on there, I got exposure. The first launch they had was MUBI, and that ran to a $20 million market cap. So there is an appetite for launch pads on BRC-20, and you know, I could see a repricing in the future. But if not, I'm happy to just play the allocation game and get my preset allocations.
Yes. Someone asked if we talked about the new Ponzi blast. So actually, I read a thread from Taiki earlier today that actually changed my mind a bit on blasts, because essentially the whole use case, the whole thesis, let me see if I can find blasts. Whole thesis is that the Arbitrum bridge is sitting on untold amounts of ETH and USDC and DAI and whatever, that they like yieldable assets that they're not getting their yield from. And so the whole point of Blast is when you bridge, they stake the bridged assets so that you're now getting yield on those bridged assets and they can pass that along, which is a brilliant idea. Like, it's a total wasted opportunity that Arbitrum Bridge, OP Bridge, whatever bridges aren't collecting yield on those assets. And they're just sitting there. So I'm not as bearish on it as I was before. That said, I'm not going to lock up my shit for 4 months on Blast.
Yeah. To be honest, I didn't know that was a use case. That does sound pretty bullish.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like their whole thesis is like staked ETH and SDAI are the native currencies to Blast instead of DAI or ETH or USDC.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that Arbitrum hold all the bridged ETH in a wallet.
Yeah.
And wasted opportunity, you're saying, it could be generating yield.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, any bridge where, you know, the native asset is locked up in a smart contract on the chain you bridge from.
Yeah. But doesn't STG actually bridge the ETH, or is that different? Doesn't layer 0?
Yeah, I think layer 0 actually does like successfully, quote unquote, bridge the assets. Although I'm not educated enough on the topic to talk about it much.
Right. Okay. Now that seems pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But
right.
Like said,
definitely raised my
locking away money for 4 months. So is it'll probably pay off, and then we'll be like, you know, annoyed, but
yeah,
opportunity cost.
Yep. Well, we sit right 4 months out from the halving. Major bullish catalysts, major FUD potential now negated, and you know, you got to keep an eye out for that major correction that always could come late bear market. But we're getting close, guys. This season is coming.
For me, like, I'm just playing the cycle as if it's going to repeat identically. Because if you look at the durations between bottom to top of 2017 and bottom to top of last cycle, it was
2.8 years.
It was the same amount of days to the day.
Yeah.
And that's quite frustrating, you know, to know.
Yeah.
So I cannot let it happen again the same way. I'm willing to put my coins down, you know. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, this is going to mean lots of sleepless nights and caffeine-fueled days in the pit with the homies, including TDrowe. So good that you're back. So glad you came on the pit, dude. And I'm excited for the next, what do we say, 1.8 years?
Yeah, it plays out that way.
Yeah. Well, hell yeah, we got to have you back on when things really ramp up. And if you guys want to join the pit, go to hxro.com, click the community tab, join the Discord, where characters such as myself, Chewbacca, and Sergeant Ponzi are always on call. And we'll see you guys inside there and next week on Le Pit.